Hey everyone, we are live here on another Tuesday night. It's Rewriting My Story with Dr. Mondo, and I'm so excited to be back for another night. And I say another night because if you guys tuned in, we were here last night on Facebook Live, and we were bringing you something very special last night. And we decided, why not just bring it to you again? This week is going to be known as the hashtag Slaying Shame week, and it needs to be not just one night of slaying shame, but multiple nights of slaying shame, because unfortunately shame is that big of a killer to rewriting our story, to living out the lives that we desire. And oh yeah, it's a killer to weight loss too. Why is shame a killer? We're going to unpack that tonight. We're going to talk to someone who is going to model for us what the kryptonite to shame is, and that's vulnerability. Now, Brene Brown so famously said the words I just said in lots of her research that she did on her landmark studies about shame and vulnerability. All of that came from research she did in wanting to know the people that live the most authentic, fulfilled lives, what are they doing differently? And what she found, quite simply, is that they were living vulnerably. But not many people were living vulnerably. That means living out loud, being able to be honest with people, to keep it 100, as some of the kids like to say. People weren't able to live vulnerably because shame keeps us from sharing all of ourselves. There's certain parts of ourselves that we edit. There's certain parts of ourselves that we filter. And when I say filter, that word applies to so many of us because we filter ourselves in today's social media generation more than ever. We filter our pictures, we filter our words, we edit our comments, we edit our posts, we edit everything. Our whole lives are filtered in what we show the public. And all of the time we're asking ourselves, what do people want to see? What version of me do people want to see? So the things that keep us from showing all parts of ourselves, we will call that thing that prevents us from being authentic, that prevents us from living out the life we want to live. We're going to call that thing shame. What area of your life today is shame taking up house in? And as you identify that tonight, because so many of you viewers are tuning in on a weekly basis, because you're here because you want to lose weight. You're here because you want to rewrite your story. You're tired of putting yourself last. You're tired of feeling like you're only worthy if you see a number on the scale. You're tired of believing that you're only lovable if you fit into a certain size jeans. If you are here because you know you want to rewrite your story, then what we need to do is we need to deal with shame. And tonight we're going to deal with shame. We're not going to deal with it, we're going to slay it. Tonight we are going to slay shame, just like we did last night when we were working with folks out in the Baltimore, DC area at Cloud 10 Transformation Center. Tonight we're going to work with another community on the East Coast at the Lift Gym in New Jersey. And we are going to slay more shame. And then guess what we're going to do? We're going to get in a plane tomorrow and we're going to head out, spoiler alert, to New Jersey. And we are going to spend time with the same people that we are FaceTiming with on this Facebook Live broadcast. We're going to spend time with the people that need the support. We're going to slay shame, and we're going to get you out of isolation. So if you're in the Jersey area, if you are in the DC area, if you're in the Boston or the New York area, the Philly area, I don't care where you are. If you're on the East Coast, it's time for you to come out of hiding. It's time for you to rewrite your story. If you feel like your fitness journey's been set for you because you gained the weight back, guess what? I gained it back 7 or 8 times. I say 7 or 8, I stopped counting. Some of you know exactly how many times you've gained the weight back. Some of you know exactly what number you need to reach on the scale in order for you to feel worthy of love, to feel worthy of acceptance, to actually feel like you can own the compliments that people speak over you. But I'm asking you, I'm actually commanding you to let go of all that. There's no reason to hang on to that. In my research, what I found is that the people that are most successful at keeping the weight off, If you're here just for that, listen to this. The people that are successful at keeping the weight off, they have prioritized rewriting their story, and they prioritizing renegotiating their relationship with food. Those are the things we're going to talk about tonight. Shame keeps you from living out your best story. Shame keeps you in a cycle of isolation. In isolation, that's when you start getting into your comfort eating cycles. Now, come on, I know I'm not preaching to myself here. I know someone tonight on the broadcast, if you resonate, throw a wow or throw a love or comment below. We need you to be interactive. Tonight, we are going to slay shame. We're going to get you out of isolation. And guess what? Some of you are saying, I'm not on the East Coast. So what about me? Don't worry, you're not going to be left out of this either. Tonight, we are going to tell a story of a courageous woman, and you're going to probably connect with that story. And you're going to be sitting here saying, what do I do next? And we're going to give you tools on what you can do next. Every week, we have this broadcast, and the goal stories of empowerment so that you can get motivated to get out of isolation and get back into the game and to start prioritizing your self-worth, your self-love, and to make that separate from the scale. Somehow taking care of that allows you to take care of your health. So tonight you're going to hear someone's story, you're going to connect with that story, and you're going to ask, what do I do next? We're going to give you options, we're going to give you opportunities to really start rewriting your story, to change your life. And if nothing else, you're going to walk away knowing that you're not all alone. You're going to feel a sense of solidarity, and that solidarity is going to be powerful tonight. So wherever you're at, if you're laying in bed, if you're sitting on the couch, if you got one earbud in, I don't care where you're at. You were meant to tune in tonight. In fact, you were probably meant to share this broadcast with more people. There's probably more people that you know that need to hear this message. Last night on our special broadcast of Slaying Shame, we had people sharing the broadcast link directly to other people's pages and just saying, hey, I think you need to hear this message. And I had people coming back, even this morning, it was still happening, and saying thank you to people for tuning in. Now, guys, I really do believe a lot in this message that I'm sharing, but believe me, it wasn't me that got that sort of response from folks last night. It was the stories that were told last night. It was the community response that we had. So many people have lost weight and gained it back. So many people have lost weight and started gaining it back. So many people lost weight and thought that they would feel better about themselves. They would live into a new life. They would tell a new story about themselves, and they found out that that was a rigged game. It didn't end up that way. So there's lots of disappointment, and there's lots of shame, and there's lots of guilt, and all those negative feeling states that lead to isolation. And tonight we're about to slay all of those. So I hope you're excited. Every week when we tell a story from someone that's courageous, that's meant to inspire you. And tonight, that story is the same as it was the week before and the week before that. Now, one of the things, though, that happens on a program like this is we say, let's tell you the story behind the before and after picture. What do we mean by that? We mean that we live in a before and after world. This is what I look like before. This is what I look like after. 8 months ago, you should see my before picture. Now you see what I look like after. Don't think that that's the story, the before and the after photo. The real story is what's untold. The real story is the things that we're too ashamed to talk about out loud. That's why we create this broadcast. That's why we create this space for you. That's why you can ask any question you have or comment and share anything below, and we will see it and we will respond to it. So we're here to inspire you. And sometimes the feedback I get is, that person that you interviewed who went from 500 pounds to 200 pounds, you think I'm lying. Go back and look at Justin Lacey's story or Tim Kaufman's story. Those people, I just don't think that's going to be me. They lost 300 pounds. I don't have 300 pounds to lose. Or they lost all that weight and they became an ultra marathon runner. I'm just trying to get off the couch, let alone run a couch to 5K. That's not me. A lot of what I hear is people say, those are great stories and they leave me inspired, but I want to hear from someone like myself who is just looking for the motivation and the encouragement to start over again. And one of the things I'll do when I hear someone say that is, you're never starting over again. You know, the 7 or 8 times that I lost over 80 pounds and put it back on, about the 5th time I realized it was never starting over again. That every single time I lost weight, even when I put it back, I learned something valuable about myself. I learned more about my relationship with food. Oh, it seems like when these trigger emotions happen, when I get lonely and anxious and I get exhausted, that's when I tend to use food for comfort. Interesting. I learned that the 5th or the 6th time. So for some of you that are saying, I'm back at starting point, or I got to start all over again, stop thinking that way, because your success is measured in ways beyond the scale. So tonight we're going to talk to someone who might use some of that language and say, oh yeah, I got to start over. No, I'm going to correct her right off the bat. She's not starting over. She's been evolving this entire time. And sometimes as we evolve and we learn things about ourselves, the scale paints a different picture than the picture and the story of our evolvement. Sometimes we can be rewriting our story, and yeah, the scale can be going up, or it can be just treading water. I see how the important thing is rewriting your story first. The weight will take care of itself. I tell this final piece before we bring on our guests here tonight, just to leave this with you. It's one of the most powerful stories that I've ever experienced here in this therapy room. There was a man who came in to my office. He didn't come willingly. He was forced. He was forced to come see me for sessions. He came kicking and screaming. He said, I don't believe in therapy. I don't believe in your process. I don't think you can help me, but I'll come because this weight loss center I'm going to says that I keep losing the weight and gaining it back over. And they say I got to talk to you because my struggles, my issues go deeper than the surface. And that's all BS, but whatever. I'll humor them. I'll come here. But I'm determined to lose the weight. I'm going to prove them wrong. And I said, okay, you seem like you know that you're going to really lose the weight this time. What's different? And you know what was amazing is that in one session of just sitting with him, he did everything that I'm encouraging you guys to do. He looked me in the eye and he said, hey, I'll tell you right now, Dr. Mondo, this time's different. And I know you've probably heard people say that. And I said, yeah, I have heard people say that, but something about the way you say it tells me that you believe it. He said, yeah, you know, this time is different because this time I can sit here. And he was sitting there and he said, in my 350-pound shell, and he pointed to his body and his stomach. He said, I could sit in this shell right now and I could tell you that I actually like me. And he said, I know that sounds weird, but you need to know my backstory. He said, my whole life, I've hated me. I've hated myself. I hated myself when I was 350 pounds. He said, I hated myself when I was 200 pounds. Every time I lost the weight, I still hated myself. And I think I was disappointed by that. He said, but now I'm sitting here at 350 pounds and I finally, and I can tell you how I figured it out. And our sessions became about him really just explaining to me how it came to be that he found love for himself. And he had lost the weight 6 or 7 times and gained it back 6 or 7 times, but he rewrote his story. He found self-love, and he said, this next time is going to be just an expression of that self-love. So for some of you, you're saying, I'm back at the starting point again. I'm back at square one. You're not back at square one. This journey that you've been on is a journey, not a destination. It's about not getting to a finish line, but extending the finish line of life out a little bit further. So tonight, I hope you take this encouragement. The woman we will speak to tonight, her story is not over. She's still rewriting it. And there's no way, shape, or form is she back at the starting point. And so many of you I know might be thinking the same. So I'm speaking to you too. Whew, I'm gonna take a deep breath for a minute. You guys got me fired up. I'm looking just right at all of you. I had to put the laptop, you can't see, I had to put the laptop down and just, I'm locked in as if it's just me and you right now. And so as I'm popping back in, I'm seeing that we have some viewers on here, and I want to highlight some folks on here. And this is something I'm gonna highlight right off the bat that makes me so fired up. there was a woman last night on the broadcast who was sharing. She was sharing a lot of questions and feedback. She was being what I would call a very strong and evolved and courageous woman by sharing her story. And she lives in the DC area. She goes to Cloud 10 transformation centers. And she was sharing so much. And I was just hoping that I'd have a chance to meet her, that she'd get into the program that we're offering. We'll tell you more about that later. But I just want to just share right off the bat how excited this makes me, Davina, to hear that Davina says, I signed up at Cloud 10. I'm very excited to stop feeling shame and shaming and sabotaging myself. Davina, it's all worth it for you to be signed up. And I really hope you'll be at the event. We'll be out in DC next Monday, and I hope I get a chance to meet you. And I cannot wait for you to slay shame with our program and with the help of Cloud 10. Just so much cool stuff happening. So guys, this is why we do it. So if there's anyone out there tonight that we're speaking to, again, Davina, you make me want to do nights like this over and over and over again. So speaking of Cloud 10, some of you watched last night's broadcast, and you know that there was a gym owner out there, Joe Buabang, who really made a commitment to his people. And he made his commitment not just to his people at his gym and his members, but he also made a commitment to the community and wanting to step out and say, I want to be one of the first people to get on this new wave of how we're going to treat obesity and how we're going to help people in their weight loss journeys. And so Joe decided that he wanted to be one of the first gyms to offer our program, the Writing My Story program with Dr. Mondo. And he signed up for that. And he said, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to sign up, and I'm actually going to pay for some of my folks to get in the program. I'm going to cover over half the cost for them. Well, he's not the only gym owner on the East Coast that is making this huge commitment to not just his gym, but also his community. There's another gym owner, and I'm going to bring him on the screen now here in a minute. His name is Matt Jennings, and Matt Jennings is at the Lift Gym. They have locations in Jersey, and he'll tell you more about where those locations are at. Some of you are surely tuning in because you are familiar with the gym. You go there. If you do, give him some love and just share why you love his gym. I've had numerous conversations with Matt, including one on Facebook Live about a week ago. Matt loves you guys, and Matt loves those of you that he hasn't even met yet. Matt is committed to being ahead of the curve and how he helps support people go through weight loss transformations. Matt can give you what you need when it comes to lose weight, the things you need to do to exercise, the things you need to do in the kitchen. But Matt knows there's another component to this. And so that's what we did, is we teamed up. I'm going to bring Matt Jennings right now. Matt onto the broadcast. He's going to join me here on Facebook Live, and I'm so excited to have him. I'm so excited to see him in a few days. Matt, how are you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How are you, Doc?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's crazy to think that we're going to be flying out tomorrow morning, and I'll actually get a chance to be meeting you in the next couple of days. I'm really pumped about that.
Yeah, we are excited to see you as well, my man. Definitely.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Hopefully hopefully bring some of that California sunshine. We've had some
there's a lot
nasty weather.
You've had some nasty weather? Don't tell me that. I didn't even check the weather.
Just today, it's got a little sketchy, but it's kind of unpredictable. So.
Okay. Well, I don't care. Even if we have inclement weather out there, we are going to make sure that we come out and we do our best job to get everyone to come out. Can you just summarize? I know you've shared this before with Facebook, but why are you so committed to really helping people? You already do so much for your gym community. Why are you committed to doing more with the emotional side that you're now committed to with the program?
Well, when we started doing this program 4.5 years ago, we knew that the long-term success for our program might be an issue for many of our clients. And we knew we had the programming designed down. We knew nutrition I wouldn't say it's an easy thing to take care of. It's just kind of a simple concept. But we knew with so many people were probably going to have issues with long-term success, and then how would we handle that? And to be quite honest with you, we didn't know. We thought, hey, this was a program that we were just launching, and like many gym owners and coaches who do some similar programming might have thought, I think we thought that, hey, we're different. Everyone thinks they're different, and of course we all are in our own ways. But that maybe we would have that impact that would be long-lasting, long-term, and really, and really kind of go deep, just because of maybe some abilities that we had in just dealing with people and somewhat understanding emotions and how to keep them motivated and inspired. But we actually didn't see that. We didn't see it. We did see it for some, but for the majority, it just wasn't. It left us feeling that we, as coaches and running this specific program, we were not successful. So we've, I don't want to use the word, have been waiting for someone like you to come along. But essentially it seems that that's exactly what happened. We're just waiting, like we're going to figure this out at some point. And it really wasn't us figuring it out. It was that we were blessed to have been introduced to you not too long ago, and so we believe that this is the third point of that triangle that is the missing link, and that is probably the most important part of it, as far as making our program as far as it being long-term successful, an integral part of what we're going to be doing in the future. So we're excited.
I'm excited, man. And yeah, again, I think one of the things that I often think of is that, people really, I said this last night, but my experience of being able to work with, and we're really selective about which gyms we partner up with, and we do the intensive work to come into. And the main thing that we're looking for more than anything is just gym owners that really have unique hearts for this sort of stuff. And I mean, the fitness community sometimes can be kind of rigid in believing it's all about calories in, calories out, and they can't be that. Sometimes they're not the most compassionate community when it comes to really sitting down and walking with someone that's struggling with food addiction, or they're struggling with shame regarding gaining weight. It's the genuineness that I felt with connecting with you that made me really feel comfortable. And then, of course, the more I've gotten to know you, I know you have incredible energy. And so even though it's, God, what is it? Is it almost 10 o'clock over there, or where's it?
Almost 10.
That's almost 10 o'clock over there.
We're excited.
People are laying in bed watching this. I know, but you've still got energy at 10 o'clock. So anyway,
I probably point is something, but this is better.
Okay, cool, man. But this is just awesome. I'm so excited for it. And if you are just tuning in again, it's Rewriting My Story. This is our broadcast, and you're seeing a few different changes, maybe two on our screen. We have a little more high-tech stuff happening. We can now feature your comments. We got some bells and whistles. But the whole thing is that this is still Rewriting My Story. It's Tuesday night. We are here for presentations. We are here to answer your questions, and tonight we're going to spend a little bit of time hearing from someone who really feels like they need support and they need help rewriting their story. And she speaks not just for herself, but she speaks for all of us. And I say us because I've been in her shoes before too. I know what it's been like. I never ever in my life will ever say that I'm over the mountain, so to speak. This is a journey day by day that we have to kind of just continue to take up each day. And so anyway, I'm so excited. So I'm going to invite her right now onto the broadcast, and she's going to share with you a little bit about her story and why she's here. And the woman that I keep referencing, you're going to meet right now, her name is Peg Olson. So Peg, thank you so much for joining us. And Peg, how are you doing?
So, I'm sorry, say again.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm
Late
doing very
this
well.
evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Peg, I want to just jump kind of right into it. Was there anything that you heard tonight? I'm just curious as you're preparing to come on and share your story. Anything you heard Matt say or myself say that you were kind of resonating with as you were waiting to come on and join our broadcast?
Was so excited to come on tonight, and I just before this watched last night's interview, and
Awesome.
yeah, it was great. Amy was great. Joe was great. I'm excited for this program, and I can't wait to get started.
So tell some of the listeners and the viewers that we have tonight. And guys, if you're here, please give Peg some love by giving her some loves and some likes on the screen. And if you have a question for Peg, if there's something about her story that you resonate with, will you let her know that she's not all alone? That would mean so much to me. It means so much to her. Peg, tell me a little bit about your journey with your health. Tell me more about your story and where you're at currently today in that journey.
Well, at about 25, I was diagnosed with hypothyroid, which is genetic in my family. My mother and my grandmother both had. And I think that contributed a little bit to weight gain in my late 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
And then about 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which kind of it was shocking. And the more research I did, the more bad news I got. And I just kind of gave up on trying to be healthy even. I grew up in a gym environment and knew that I had to be healthy, and I knew I had to work out, but I didn't understand how I was going to do that with the RA being at the time so severe.
So were you able to eventually then, it sounds like you met Matt at a certain point in your journey and you were able to start to believe that you could get control of your health and you could lose weight and things like that?
Yeah, well, prior to joining the lift, I had lost about 50 pounds, but
Oh, wow.
Going to the lift was a completely different experience. I learned so much there and had a discussion with Matt one day where he said, just because you got the diagnosis doesn't mean you have to live with it. And that was pretty profound to me. And I thought, my God, I could wallow in self-pity all day long, but that changed things for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, to me at the moment, it's just so profound and has really kept me going for a long time.
So you got in. So what's your story with the lift? Or you went in and you came in and did you do some of their transformation challenges and things like that?
I did one.
Cool.
I wasn't completely successful because I didn't lose my 20 pounds, but
around here you're learning. We don't define it based on the number on the scale. I get what you mean, but yeah. So
Matt doesn't really either. It's more about how your clothes fit, how you feel, and
beautiful. That's my philosophy.
Yeah. But as I got stronger, I felt better, and it was something that I had never experienced before, where it wasn't about the scale so much. It was really about being healthy and getting stronger, because that's where I have to focus, because as the joints get weaker, I need to be stronger. Yeah.
So where are you at now in the journey? And what brings you kind of tonight to us? If I know that Matt had reached out to you, what's unique about where you're at in your current journey?
I had a lot of changes in the past year. I bought a house, and the salon where I work, we moved, and there was a lot of upheaval kind of in the last couple of years. So I started gaining some of the weight back, and I know that it happens. It's a little discouraging, and it's evident. So I think that's not that I need to start over. It's just I need to get back on track.
So do you feel like when do you identify at all with the word shame or guilt? Does that resonate with you? Like, or I hear, like, is there a part of you that just goes, I just got to get back on track. It's no big deal.
Well, that's initially how I feel, is get back on track. It shouldn't be that difficult. But like Amy was saying a little bit last night, some of the shame doesn't come from the way that I look. It comes from having to ask for help.
Mm-hmm. So tell me more about that. One out there that's listening that probably can resonate with that. So you're saying the biggest struggle for you is sometimes asking for help.
Yeah, and you did your research because you mentioned the whole landmark education thing, which that was eye-opening for me because I had to learn about myself and how I interact with other people. And having to let go is a big part of that program. And letting go for me sometimes is letting go of the exterior where I have to do everything by myself. It's letting go and being able to ask for help.
Yeah. So tonight, does this feel like you are asking for help by coming on here? And what was the motivation for you to say when Matt reached out and said, hey, we want someone to represent the gym and we really want to highlight slaying shame and talking about their story and really, addressing some other components that we haven't yet addressed? What was it about tonight that made you feel like you wanted to say yes to that and maybe reach out for help?
I really love the environment at the lift. We call it the tribe. Everybody is so encouraging and supportive and motivational. And Matt and Kathy are always trying to come up with something new to keep everybody motivated and encouraged. And so I feel like for me to kind of pay back a little bit and to try to pay it forward, this is a way for me to kind of do that.
I love it. I love it. And guys, if you're just tuning in right now, we are talking about doing something that I think all of us can probably relate to, which is slay some shame just by Peg showing up tonight. Matt, wouldn't you agree that she is slaying some shame by being here tonight?
Oh, absolutely, brother. She, Peg's been with us for quite a while, and Peg probably has a better idea of how, time goes by so fast for me. But one thing I've definitely noticed is that she doesn't lack discipline. And so, I want to give her any opportunity that we can to like you're saying with this tour, to slay the shame tour and get everything she wants and needs and desires and expects out of this program, and have what we can do to help her.
Love it. Love it. Peg, there's going to be a shirt that we're going to hold up. I'm pulling it up right now, and I'll share that in the link. But it says basically there's a series of I am statements, and these are things that we believe kind of make up the foundation of rewriting your story. The program is going to focus on helping you have this foundational of core beliefs, and in addition to that, it's going to help you figure out what is my story and what is my story with food, and help you shift that. So I'm going to read to you a few of the I am statements, and I want actually everyone that's listening to listen to these I am statements, and I want you just to type in below, and Peg, I want you to share out loud, which of these statements do you feel that you are struggling with kind of the most right now? So let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Just bear with me for 1 second as I pull that up. So the first statement of the shirt is, I am worthy. And so again, what I'm asking you guys is, as you hear these statements, which of these do you go, yeah, that makes sense to me in my mind, but you actually feel like you embody that, like you really are living that out. And if you feel like you're struggling with one of these or multiple or all of them, don't feel ashamed. This is to slay shame, but these are foundational core beliefs to helping you really be successful in living out your preferred story. So I'm going to read them to you. So again, I'm worthy. So is that one that maybe some of you struggle with? If so, say, yeah, I am. That's a struggle, worthiness. I'm lovable. So is that something you struggle with? I'm enough. I'm vulnerable. So maybe vulnerability is something you struggle with. Believing you're enough as you are is a struggle. I'm stronger. Do you really understand and believe that you are strong, or do you sometimes just have this story about yourself that says that you're weak? I'm not defined by the number on a scale, or any numbers for that matter. I'm not defined by the number in the bank account, any numbers. I'm not defined by numbers. Is that something you struggle with? And then finally, I'm rewriting my story. Do you feel like you're in action right now with rewriting your story? So we're the stronger, not defined by the number on a scale, rewriting my story. Any of those that I just threw at you, just even one, Peg, that you go, you know what? That's one of those core beliefs that I want to focus on getting stronger with.
I guess the one that most resonated with me was the I am enough.
I am enough.
I can't really put a reason to that, but that's the one that really spoke to me.
I love it. And I'm glad that you don't have a reason for it. And that sounds strange, but let me just explain that to you guys out there that are listening. I'm asking you guys to pay attention to what's coming up for you emotionally, not what's coming up for you in your mind. So I don't care or like us emotionally. And so it sounds like that one resonated with you. Like, oh my gosh, interesting. There's something about that statement of I'm enough that it connects in my mind, but it doesn't connect in my heart, right? And so that would be a great one, for example, for you to focus on in the program and to watch the video lessons on and to do the journal exercises. And again, this is just the foundation before we dive into doing any of the rewriting of your story. But it's really examining what beliefs do you struggle with. And I have some people here too, Peg, because you've been so brave to share that. Now other people are sharing it. And folks, this is how we slay shame, is by being vulnerable and sharing stuff out loud. Hannah Manson, thank you so much for being on here tonight, Hannah, and thank you for taking the time to not just be on here, but to also share some comments and some feedback. We really appreciate that. And I want to just feature your comment really quick and speak to it. I am enough, and I'm not defined by the number of the scale or my struggles. You know, it's amazing. That the first one that we pick right off the bat is another one that Peg, you can relate to that. So there's community. You're not the only one struggling with I am enough, and I'm not defined by the number on a scale. That's one that I think we all struggle as a society with, because we are taught in this society a lot to pay attention to the numbers, and so it's really confusing and hard for us to untangle our self-worth from the number on the scale. But I don't know. How's that for you, Peg, to know that you're not the only one out there, even right off the bat, that there's 8 statements and someone resonated with I am enough as being a struggle for them too.
Yeah, I think that again, like one of the things that Amy mentioned last night is that being an overweight woman is sometimes it's different, and it's more of a struggle sometimes. So that I think that I am enough is part of what she's saying as far as the emotional aspect of that goes. So yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of women out there who feel the same way, that they're not enough, or they aren't enough. Uh-oh.
Peggy there?
Yeah, I'm here, but it looks like Dr. Mondo fell off somehow.
Oh, geez. Okay. Because this is so delayed that it's hard.
There we go.
We're back, guys. Sorry about that little broadcast glitch. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Peg,
I get quite a delay.
When I was listening to you, Peg, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think it's on my side with my audio. For some reason, I can't hear you, but we'll keep going. I'm going to pull up a different statement on the screen. So thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Yes?
Yep. We can hear you, brother.
Thumbs up. Okay. Okay. I think that's thumbs up. Technical difficulties are bound to happen. It happens to everyone. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to pull up someone else's statement. I certainly struggle with this at times. I was stunned at how society treated me differently when I lost 100 pounds in the past. Can anyone else relate to that? So again, and I'm putting Matt, don't worry, Matt and Peg, I'm putting you guys back on the screen as I work out my audio kinks. But again, how many people can relate to that struggle of losing weight and then being shocked at how people treated them? If you could relate to that, very no. And let me tell you something too, that from the research we find that is true of all people who go through weight loss transformations, is that it's really common to just experience a whole new world. People all of a sudden treat you differently, and in treating you differently, you find that all of a sudden that people are giving you attention that you never got before. And so there's lots of elements of that. Peg, I know you're shaking your head. Is that something you can relate to?
Yeah, it was interesting. When I sent those notes back to Ashley, I said, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing how differently people will treat you because you're thin." And people know. I mean, it was good and bad. It was both. I see people all day, every day at being a hairdresser, and it was so nice to get the positive comments. But then it was like, wow, I can't believe people they do treat you differently because of the weight loss. And then I mentioned that. I said, oh my gosh, I am treated this way now because I'm thin, not because I'm a good person.
Yeah, and that's what's, I think there's this part of like, and on one hand, here's the thing a lot of people don't talk about, and you and Carrie are hitting on it, which is that we live in a weight shame, feel invisible self too. I felt way more invisible 80 pounds heavier than I do right now. And you can relate to that. We can all relate to that. And there's this thing where it's like we all desire to be more visible, but at the same time, there's this resentfulness that comes with that experience of like, wait a minute, I'm rewriting my story, but I'm the same person. People will talk about being at a board meeting and say, 8 months ago when I was 80 pounds heavier, 100 pounds heavier, like Carrie's sharing, you had no interest in what I was saying, and now all of a sudden you're giving me the time of day. I don't know. Can you relate to some of that, Pig?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So this is all common again, and this is part of what we believe we can help people be more successful. Like if I could give Carrie or Peg a roadmap on day one to their journey and say, hey, when you go through this stage of getting off 80 to 100 pounds, this is when you're going to notice that you get new attention. Here's what that's going to be like. And if we can give people an idea of what to expect, it's kind of crazy, but I think that's going to help. I think that when we travel to a new destination we've never been, having a map to guide us there makes us feel a little bit safer. Like I know that when I'm in New Jersey in less than 24 hours and I have Google Maps, like there's some security in that to know I know where I'm at, like I know where I'm going. And so for a lot of people, they go through a weight loss transformation, they have no map to guide them. And I think it feels so scary and it feels overwhelming. And I don't know how it was for you, Carrie, but I know that at some points people actually realize that it's some of those uncomfortable feelings of getting new attention that you've never had before and not being sure how to react to it that actually leads some people to this anxiety or this panic state. And in that anxious or panic state, that's where they start to use their old comfort or food to come back in and comfort them. And so I'm not sure if you could relate to that. And I'm speaking for my research participants. I'm speaking for folks from The Biggest Loser. I'm speaking for myself too, because I know how real that is. So again, we have so many good comments here, and I'm looking to get on those. Let's see. Maureen said, I was very thin and athletic growing up, so much attention then. So talk about, a different world experience, so much attention growing up when I was thin and athletic. When I hit 35, I started struggling with weight. Now I'm about 80 pounds overweight and there's no attention at all. People constantly ask if I'm pregnant. It's humiliating. That totally hits me and close to home. I feel for you, and I really appreciate, Maureen, that you sharing that. And I'm sorry that I wish there was more I could say other than that. It just hurts to know that that's something that you've experienced. And I think I'm big on justice and fairness, and something about that just doesn't feel right. It feels wrong, right? That we live in a society where not only do you have to go through that shaming, but on top of that, you go through that invisibility. And it's all based around your appearance. It just really bothers me a lot. And I want you to know that you have people in this community here who can relate to you, and we're standing with you. And a big thing that I would want to support you on is still maintaining a sense of your identity. You're still you, regardless of whether you're 80 pounds down or 80 pounds up. And that's not necessarily a license to just go ahead and not care about your health. But I think that if we can help, and I'm not sure if it's even the case for you, but sometimes people find that their self-esteem and their self-worth then gets tangled up in being overweight and in that struggle. And so I would really hope that that's something that we could support you on untangling. And then what's left is just your health objectives, and those health objectives then can still be obtainable, but they're for different reasons, or at least that is the case for so many people. So I'm not sure totally of your story, Maureen, but I'm just really glad that you shared that, and I know that you're not alone. If anyone can relate to Maureen, share that. I see you smiling, Peg. Is that something about Maureen's story that you can relate to in that?
Well, not just Maureen's awesome. She comes to the gym and she works hard. She works really hard, and like I said, we're all cheerleaders for each other at the gym. So she was out for a little bit, and then she came back, and she jumped right back in. No hesitation. Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, yeah. And Carrie, by the way, came back on here and says as well, and that did lead to her gaining some of the weight back. Carrie, that's something that that I think a lot of people can relate to. Again, this feeling of being objectified, not being used to that new attention, and then it's easier sometimes to. There was an article that in the database of the blog you can read. It's called "My Weight Was My Shield." Sometimes our weight can be our shield in society, and we're familiar with what we're familiar with. We're comfortable with what we're familiar with. It's a new experience. Even if you tell us you get this new body where you get to, be healthier and move more and have more energy, it's still new. If you're not used to it, it's scary. And I think that's why I love and I really hold on to the addiction model, the theory of missed attempts, in the sense that they say 3 or 4 times to get sober. I think in the same sense, sometimes it takes a few times of losing the weight, unfortunately, and gaining it back. I'm not saying that has to be the standard model, but I think that it's really common for people to lose the weight and gain it back, and then have to, get to this point where they realize that, they have to develop self-worth and self-love separate from that, and then, go out and they know what to anticipate differently the second time around. So I really encourage you to keep going. And if you're in the New Jersey area, which I imagine you might be, or even if you're not, I really urge you to kind of come to the call to action tonight, which is to join the program and join all of us that are rewriting our stories. And so thank you so much for sharing that. And Maureen says, I have no self-worth or self-esteem left. So that's a perfect opportunity then for you to rewrite your story. And someone asked me, what do I do and how do I create self-esteem and self-worth? It has to be poured into you. So sometimes we need, like Peg said, help. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. We just need someone to pour that into us. I need that on a consistent and daily basis in order for me to pour it into others. So we need that. It's really important. Again, I'm so glad that you shared that. You aren't alone, Maureen. Davina shared when Dr. Mondo said that he hated himself at a point in his life. That's really what brightened my light bulb. Yeah, totally. There was a point where I absolutely did hate myself, and it wouldn't have mattered if I would have lost the weight. And I remember there was a time when I lost the weight and I still didn't like myself. And so it really, to me, that showed me it's really not about that as much as it is about me finding the journey to self-love and self-worth, rewriting my story in order to be successful. So you got to do that first, or now, or wherever you're at. You just have to really do that. Now, I know there's some people asking about what's going on with this event that we have coming up. Ashley posted more about that. Matt, what's going on Thursday night at your gym?
We are going to be live at the gym on Thursday.
In person live.
In person with the great Dr. Mondo. And I believe Ashley and the rest of your team will possibly be there as well. Coming from Sacramento.
Will be there.
Yeah, we're coming so excited. Sacramento. We are really pumped for this. But, well, I gather we're going to have quite an audience that night, and we're really excited that we're going to be able to introduce you and what you do in helping this community that is so in need of your help. And well, we're going to be announcing also, what you do and what you offer, and how we're going to contribute as well in helping people with long-term success with their weight loss and their whole image of themselves.
Yeah, this thing is something that there's really two announcements, but this is a big announcement that we're making. And again, some of you tune in from all around the world to this broadcast. If you're feeling left out, don't, because there's opportunities for you to be involved in this community. The program's not just going to be limited or offered to certain people. If you're watching tonight, you have a really unique opportunity to be able to sign up for the Rewriting My Story program, and you got someone really generous who's willing to support you on the cost of that. So the cost is going to be completely different tonight than it would be any other night. So there's two big events. The first is two big announcements. The first announcement that we're announcing is that in 2 nights, you may have seen the event page already on Facebook. I will be in New Jersey. We're leaving tomorrow at 7 a.m. early, and we'll be heading out to New Jersey, and I'll be there Thursday night at the Lift Gym. So if you're in New Jersey, come out. As it says on the screen right now, come out to slay shame. For anyone that's looking to rewrite your story, you might say that you right now are at your ideal weight or you're at your ideal health, but you still struggle with some of those statements that we mentioned earlier about worthiness, feeling like you're lovable, feeling like you're enough, feeling like you're not defined by the number on a scale. We want to release you from all of that. And if you're in hiding right now because you feel like you're ashamed from gaining the weight back or not being enough, we want you to come into this environment Thursday night. And basically, the event is going to be one big giant hug. It's also going to be some big tools to help you. There's going to be so much there for you. So again, if you can make it out, I really hope you will. If you're in the New Jersey area, make it out to Lift Gym. We have the event that you can search for right now on Facebook, or we'll have a link that will be you'll be able to click on here in a little bit. It may have already been, I think, actually be commented below. So that's announcement number 1. If you're in New Jersey, join us in two days. On Thursday night, we will be there, and we're going to have a packed house, and we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. But the second announcement is this, that my program, Rewriting My Story, it's 35 video lessons, and it's journal entries and assignments. It's articles, podcasts. All of that is a self-guided online program that you do at your own pace, but it's going to help you rewrite your story and renegotiate your relationship with food. Figuring out what is the story I tell about myself, and how do I really rewrite that to align with, okay, I want to believe that I'm enough. How do I do that? And also understanding your relationship with food. So maybe you realize I'm an emotional eater, I'm a comfort eater. But why do I do the things I do? What are the trigger emotions that lead me to be more susceptible to comfort eating? The program is going to teach you all of this. Don't you think that if you knew these things, if you were able to feel like you were enough, if you were able to feel like you knew what your trigger emotions are and how to respond to them differently without food being your only source of comfort, that you'd be more successful long term? Don't think it, know it, because that's what the research shows. So that program that we offer, Rewriting My Story, you got someone here tonight who believes so much in helping the community that he's going to put his money where his mouth is. So Matt, I'll let you tell people, you're paying for everyone tonight who's tuning in. You're paying for $200 of their program, which means they're left with $149 to pay tonight to show up. So why are you doing this? And that's I think the first question why people might be asking.
Well, we want to give back. We've been so blessed with what we've been doing over the last several years, and we want to take what we do to the next level. And I'm not sure of any other way I could do that by just simply giving back in a way. And so we're going to take $200 of the cost of every program that is signed up for this evening, and we lovingly do it. We look forward to doing it, and like we said earlier, we just want to give back and help people hopefully find a solution long term. And I think this is an incredible program to help bring them there. So, geez, we wish we could do more, but this is
hey,
what we want.
I believe, yeah, you already offer the gym community, you offer the nutrition, the exercise. This is another component, and I tell people my component on its own isn't everything. You need a good gym, you need a good community, you need good fitness leaders. So I think we're all stronger together. But again, some people might be wondering. I see people typing in, what does all this mean? Well, basically what it means is if you sign up for this online program, you're going to get the video lessons, the journey, you have access to all of that, but you have to sign up through the special link. Don't go to my site and click on programs. The program's $349. You're not going to get Matt taking advantage of the opportunity to pay for you. He really wants to pay $200 towards your program. So let him do it tonight, and you can sign up at the link tonight. We do, Matt is a generous guy, but we have to cap this at some point. So if you're out there tonight and you want to sign up and you're feeling motivated, if you resonated with anything we shared, if you're feeling like you want to rewrite your story, that you resonated with some of the stuff that Peg shared and the struggles with some of those I am statements, the time is now. The time is now to rewrite your story, and it's really all about slaying shame, and it's really all about taking this opportunity to really take what's in front of us. And so I hope that you are feeling motivated to take the call to action tonight and to sign up for the program and be at the event. So the two aren't mutually exclusive. You could be at the event and not sign up for the program, or you could sign up for the program and not be at the event. It doesn't matter. Again, we just want you guys to get as much support and as much help as you can get. And so I'm just going to let you guys again know about that. Peg, you are going to be in the program, and you're going to be getting the program for free because Matt's going to put $200 towards it, and I'm going to cover the rest just because you've been so courageous tonight in sharing your story. How are you feeling about going into getting started with this program?
I'm really excited about it. I didn't really know kind of what I was getting into at first. But now after doing a little looking online and looking at some of the information I could find online, it's going to be really exciting. And I think it is what a lot of people need to take that next step.
Awesome. Yeah, I just think it's going to be so good, and to be able to meet you is going to be so good. Are you going to be at the event Thursday night?
I am. Luckily, I got my schedule changed a little bit so I can be there.
Awesome. Yeah, so that event starts at 7 o'clock. Again, guys, we just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of what you're going to experience on Thursday night. Watch program here tonight, and this week is a really special week. It's the Slaying Shame week, and we're going to be doing it all week long. We're going to be on the road. We leave tomorrow morning, and we're heading to New York, and we'll be in New York, New Jersey, Boston, DC, Baltimore, and we're going to be in all those places. And if you're in any of those places, let us know. We'd love to interact with you. We'll have some events that we can tell you about, but make it out. And again, it's an empowerment tour. It's basically letting you know that you're enough, you're lovable, you're worthy just the way you are right now. And if you can get a hold of that, you can rewrite your story. You are rewriting your story, and you'll be successful in your health transformation. For too long, we haven't been focusing on this aspect of the transformation. We've just focused on calories in, calories out. That matters. That equals weight loss. But long-term success is a more difficult. I'm so excited to be addressing those and helping out the community in New Jersey. Guys, it's like 10:30 there. Your circadian rhythms are totally being thrown off by this broadcast. How are you guys doing? You're not nodding off right now?
No.
No, Matt's talking over there. Matt, I'm sorry, are you nodding off, Matt?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't blame you.
Are you guys getting delays at all?
A little bit. I hear a little bit of audio feedback. Just I think it's maybe, I don't know what that is. Maybe there's an audio source on in the background over there. Or I think we're good.
It's off. Yeah, we're off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So listen, guys. Again, if you're tuning in and you're wondering about this event, sign up for the event. Sign up for the program. Okay. And again, anyone that's watching tonight can sign up for the program at the special link and come on out if you're in the New Jersey area. If this broadcast, anything spoke to you, let us know below. We take the comment section seriously. We listen to all the comments, and let us know what was helpful, what you would like more of. And we're going to be on the road the rest of this week. So stay tuned. There'll be plenty of Facebook Lives happening, including when we're at the New Jersey gym and we're hanging out with Matt. We'll go live a few times when we get a chance to meet Peg at the event. So we'll be going live, but we want to get you live and in person, so you guys can really get a hold of this message and you get a chance to join us on rewriting our story with the program. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I cannot wait to meet you guys in person.
Oh, we're excited. Super excited.
Yeah, we are excited.
Yeah, guys have a great.
Thanks so much for being here tonight too, Peg.
Yeah, thank you, Peg, very, very much. Thank you for being vulnerable and for leading by example. We needed that so much. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Matt, we will talk soon, and I'll talk to you soon, brother. I'll see you soon, man. Looking forward to that.
Tomorrow. You enjoy your night, my man. Safe flight.
All right. You too. Yep. I'll be in touch. Thanks so much, Matt. Oh, another episode in the books, guys. And I'm just so thankful for all of you that were able to tune in. Man, this is cool. We're getting ready to go on the road tomorrow. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of different emotions that I have when I go on the road. The first emotion is that I'm going to miss my family. As most of you know, I have a daughter at home, and she's going to be 2 months old on Thursday. My mom's birthday is tomorrow, and my daughter's birthday, or my daughter's 2 month, she'll be 2 months old in just a day after that. So, and I also have a 21-month-old at home, so it's hard to leave my kids and my wife at home. But really, as hard as that is, there's this other emotion that comes to me, which is excitement. There's this incredible opportunity we have to change and advocate for a brand new way of helping support people in their health transformations. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to slay shame. This is, for me, more than anything, a very emotional and spiritual calling that I feel led to fulfill. One in which I really feel called and led to encourage people that feel like their story's been written. There's been people that have reached out recently that said that they were so depressed, so anxious, suicidal. They felt like their story had been written, and those people watched the broadcast and they heard one of the stories shared, and that gave them hope, that gave them optimism. That is why, on one hand, while I feel really my heart aches to leave my kids and my family at home, there's also this excitement that I feel because we get to take this show on the road. Every single time that we go on the road, we have incredible experiences. I'm so lucky because you can't see him right now, but Daniel Robertson, who is my angelic cameraman, and I say truly angelic, he has just got such a calming, peaceful presence. He's always there to document and capture everything. And I'm so glad he's here because I want you guys to see what unfolds on the road, whether it's on the plane ride there, on the plane ride back. Amazing things always happen. And I'm a spiritual guy, so I always say, that's that has something to do. God is moving as we go on the road to help people. And so it's so cool. I can't wait to experience that. And if you are in those cities that I mentioned, if you're in New York, if you are in New Jersey, if you are in Jersey Shore, if you are in Boston, if you're in Baltimore, if you're in DC, and you feel like you need extra support or help, reach out. Send me a direct message. We will figure out a way back to you if it's possible. We'll make sure we try to do our best to make it happen. This is like a voyage that we're going on to do some speaking events, but it's also a voyage to go and just to encounter anyone that we find on the journey who needs some support and needs some encouragement and needs to know that they're worthy and lovable just the way they are right now, and they can rewrite their story. That's what we're going to do. And so the sword that we take up is going to be used to slay shame. So that's the tour that we're going to be on. It starts tomorrow. You'll get plenty of live updates. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's broadcast. Every Tuesday night, you can tune into the broadcast where we will have an episode of Rewriting My Story. We have our next two broadcasts. We're actually going to take next week off because we'll be flying back home. So take next week off. But the final Tuesday in May, we have plant-based athleticism and plant-based nutrition. Josh Lajani, a guy that is just so well loved and revered. Everyone I've had on this broadcast that's talked about their transformation, who's gone through a plant-based model, talks about Josh Lajani in the Missing Chins Running Club. Josh will be a guest on our show, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Don't worry, you'll see tons of promo material for that. It's going to be an amazing, amazing show. You can tune in, you can ask Josh questions. We are so excited to have that opportunity to talk with him. And then we have another special guest the following week after that. We have Rob from Rob on the Road. And he's a local, not just a local presence, but also a national presence. He has an amazing show on PBS. He's done incredible, incredible work. And he always is doing the work of highlighting other people's stories, but he not often is given the opportunity to tell his story. Rob's coming on the show in the first week of June to tell his story. He's not going to be just on Facebook Live. He's going to be live and in person. He's going to be with me, in front of me. We'll be broadcasting to you guys on Facebook Live. We'll be taking your questions. And so it's just going to be amazing. So continue to tune in on Tuesday nights. We have some amazing guests lined up. I cannot wait. And again, this is the week to slay your shame. And so continue to tune in, continue to stay active with us, and we'll be going live. And we have much more to share as we will take up the East Coast and we will slay shame. You guys, do me a favor. Have an awesome, awesome night tonight. This is Dr. Mondo. And again, you guys can rewrite your story. Get started tonight. The links to join the program are below. Until next time, I'll be signing.